Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the 8th main installment of the series itself. Now, originally the series was a PlayStation exclusive, but then expanded to like Xbox and PC later on. The game takes place not only just in Japan, but also in Hawaii in the year of 2023. Kasuga got a tip from a former ally, so he travels to Honolulu in search of his biological mother, who thought to have died many years ago, and Kiryu also is in Hawaii for basically the same thing, looking for the dude's mom. It was also revealed that Kiryu has cancer. And no, guys, not a spoiler alert, it was literally in the game's trailer. So for the gameplay wise, it uses the turn-based RPG gameplay, which a lot of people weren't, well, they had a mixed reception because they weren't sure how well it would do when it came to the 7th game, but then they ended up bluffing it anyway, so here we are again with this one. So the dungeon challenges for this game, well, they're back, and now you can just, there's actually like 2 different places you could do it. You could do it in Hawaii, or you could do it in Japan. I should also mention that the game, one of the biggest complaints I had about the game was the grindiness of the 7th game. It was so grindy, it was just bad. Like the progression in terms of grinding is just bad. Thankfully, this isn't even as grindy as the last game was, so they at least fixed up that mistake. And I say that as a good thing. Also, there's only 3 arcade games now, as opposed to like how many there usually are. Maybe there's usually be like, what, 4 or 5 of them? But there's only 3, which I think this is the lowest in its history, because there's only 3 games in there that you can play. Sega Bass Fishing, Virtua Fighter 3 TB, which both of them got Dreamcast ports, and Spike Out, which is a beat-em-up game. But yeah, it's like the smallest collection of arcade games you can play, and I have no idea why they were so low in that one when Gaiden had quite a few that you can play, which is the latest installment. Well, it's a spin-off too, but still, you get what I mean. Darts, Mahjong are still here, and you also got the karaoke, which is the rhythm singing game, which you use the buttons. There's also new mini games like Crazy Delivery, which is, it's kind of like Crazy Taxi, except you're delivering pizza to customers at a certain amount of time. You could do some flips, you could do like you know, just tricks. You could do that to like boost your points or whatever too, so that's there for you. So there's also a place called Dunduku Island, which is kind of like Animal Crossing, which is, it's all in a nutshell, but when you progress through like the main game or the side stories, you can actually get people invited into the whole thing, so you have your own little home and people can just do whatever they want there. But yeah, it's like Animal Crossing, except you can actually have combat in there, which I think is funny. It's like you collect your bugs, you do scraps, do fishing, whatever. If you guys know Animal Crossing, you know what the deal is in this one. There's also this dating app game, which it's complicated. I'm not gonna give it away to you guys of how that experience is. And Sushimon, which is more of a Sega's way of doing Pokemon. Instead of capturing Pokemon, you're capturing people, per se. You can actually do it like after you fight some certain enemies where you go exploring down in Hawaii or whatnot. You have a chance to either obtain them or not. You get them this little present, which I don't know what's in it, but if you somehow keep saying please multiple times by tapping the down face button, it could be X or A. You keep mashing it. It takes like 3 seconds for you to do so. You'll be lucky if they even accept you. Kiryu has a exclusive job for himself. It's called Dragon Dojima, which you can use 3 different styles in fighting. You do the rush one, which is kind of like you punch fast, but you do less damage. But you actually do like 2 turns in one. So you punch a dude, and if you want, you go up against another guy or just the same guy. But that's up to you. There's also the one that's like, so there's like the powerhouse one where he basically like, he could take an enemy, like if an enemy closest to you, you can grab him and you can just like swing him around and it'll hit other enemies. And there's also your basic punch ones, which is like the blue one, where you just give out a few basic punches. But In terms of this one, like if your souls improve, then you'll come up with brand new combos and whatever else there is. As you guys seen in the demo, Kiryu also has his own special ability, which is like, it's more like you have to be smart when you use it, because it's kind of like how you use like the little tag team thing in there, where your little thing runs out, so you have to keep fighting to refill it. All it does is that you activate it and you're playing like the older games. You just beat them up rapidly, but it only lasts like a few seconds, but whatever you want to use it, it's like if there's too many guys, you can use it. But if there's a hard enemy that you want to try to fight, you can also do that too. But you don't get it till like later in the game, but I thought I'd mention it since it was already in the game's demo to begin with. And as Kiryu too, like when you explore Japan with him and his crew, you can actually go explore your old memories, like the first game, the second, third game, 4, 5, Dead Souls. Yes, Dead Souls also included, along with the Samurai spin-off games that were originally Japanese exclusive at the time. Well, one of them made it to North America, but the other one's still stuck in Japan, and it's still a PS3 exclusive. Well, in terms of memories too, this is another way that you can improve your souls, so I should also mention that part too whenever you guys want to try to level up your souls for all 3 things. Another new thing in this game is that you can make friends in Hawaii. You just wave people, you can do them favors, like get them like a plushie out of the crane machine, or you can feed animals like a dog, a cat, a bird, and a chicken. Yes, you heard that last part right, a chicken. Also, one of the biggest improvements for this game too is that now you have this level requirement thing, or recommended you can say. But the last game, I think I've only encountered this like 2 times. This one I encountered like 3 or 4, but still, I wish they would have still kept it up so we know what we're doing, or like what kind of enemies we're dealing with. Also, I should let you guys know that New Game Plus, it's been locked out in a paywall for some weird reason in certain editions of the game, which makes no sense to me. But I don't have any complaints about it because I don't really think I'm gonna go back to doing New Game Plus regardless. But if that's your complaints, then I really can't say nothing else about that one. You guys can also go around Hawaii and Japan and take certain pictures of locations. If you get everything that you needed, you can actually go to the little job place and you can unlock certain weapons so you guys can use during battle, but that really depends on what job you really are interested. But yeah, speaking of jobs, they're back again, so they have like new ones there, but for anyone that's like familiar with it, you guys know what you're doing, so whatever you want to like think it's useful for you guys, you can too. You can still make bounds like the last game, which there's a lot of bounds to have in this one. I think it's a lot more than the last game, to be honest. Plus, if you keep growing the bounds, they'll actually help you around during battles, like more combos they can do for you, or like attack with you more often, and more damage has been added in too. But yeah, this isn't as hard as the last one because the grind was just pure garbage, but this is just a major improvement when it came to this game, so at least there's some improvements that they made from the last game, because grinding was one of them, which is really, really bad, but this is like the best improvement they made. So I always just kept grinding in case anything happens, but I kind of grind a little ahead. But yeah, this game usually takes around like 40 hours to beat it unless you have more content doing, so you could say around 40 to 60 hours, depending if how many side stuff you guys are doing in the game. Because all I can really say is that there's so much to do in this game, but if you guys just want to play the main stuff, then maybe that's around how many hours that you can take to beat the game. So that's really all I can say about this game, and I can say that the ratings definitely do deserve it anyway. So if you guys want something new to play in terms of RPG or anything else, or maybe you just want to mess around with other arcade games, then go ahead and play this one then. I think this game is definitely for you.